think that's fair. I just got there. There's a lot of moving parts to get settled. But are you confident that Pete Carroll, fight on, can fix the Raiders' quarterback situation?
I am confident. He's shown me and many of us the ability to get it right at the quarterback position throughout his tenure as a head coach via USC or Seattle. When you think about a USC, every single year you had first-round Heisman caliber quarterbacks, no matter who they were. And then when you talk about Seattle, he went out in Seattle, and you probably remember this, Joy and Paul. He signed a guy named Matt Flynn. Matt Flynn had a cup of coffee in a Green Bay game, couple games, and he looked really great. Like, oh, God, he's going to be the next one. He gave him a whole bunch of money. Like, then he drafted Russell Wilson in the third round. He's like, you know what, man, we like you, Matt, but you... And started Russell as a rookie from the third round after he just gave this dude a real bag.
Yeah.
Then he comes later on in Russell Wilson's career, as Russ wanted to cook, he allowed him to cook a couple nice little entrees, and then he said, nah, no more cooking for you. I got another guy named Geno Smith. I'm going to get rid of your ass, and I'm going to bring in Geno, and we're going to do the same thing. And they essentially was doing the same thing, essentially. And Geno went on to be the Pro Bowl, get extended contracts, all those sort of things. So I do believe he will find a quarterback for his program.
I think he will, too. Now, they need everything, but Pete is there for stability.
Yeah.
And I think he's going to make a choice at the quarterback position that will reflect all of that. There's a pretty long list of guys that are available. Maybe not everyone is someone that's going to make you ascend in the division. But, look, I don't really have expectations for the Raiders this year. He's got to come in and fix a lot. And this division is very tough. You have the Chiefs. You have the Chargers, who are, you know, a year ahead, and you have Denver. So the expectation should be that he is building a culture and functionality with the Raiders.
Was this the only division that had 3 teams in the playoffs? To come to think of it?
The NFC North.
The North did, too? Okay.
Yeah. Paul, what do you think? Do you think they're confident that he can get the Raiders quarterback situation together?
I'm not sure, but this is what I do believe. I don't think their quarterback of the future is in the NFL right now.
You may be right.
I don't think so.
You may be right.
But, you know, he has 3 years to do it. Do I think they have some draft picks coming up? I'm not sure he can get the quarterback right now or of the future, but I think, like you said, Joy, I think in his 3 years, if that's all he does and he doesn't get an extension of contract, he can lay the foundation moving forward. Like you said, for culture, for how things are supposed to be ran, what a practice, an actual practice and organization looks like. Because that's a difficult part. Because if you can get a quarterback, everybody will have one. You know, that's the toughest thing to do is get that Super Bowl type quarterback. And you don't know, you know, you're not always going to get a Mahomes or a Josh Allen or a Lamar. But what you can do is build your team out to support your quarterback like we've seen with Purdy, like we've seen with Hurts, to make your team relevant again. So if he's going to do that, I believe he can do that to make them relevant again. Just maybe not next year, but he'll have a couple years to do it.
I'm just thinking about the quarterback room this past year for AP. Damn. Gardner Minshew, Aiden O'Connell, and Desmond Ridder. That's like some straight lemon face. When you walk in that room, I'm like...
That's what he had to work with.
Man, but I'm thinking like a receiver right now.
He knew the writing was on the wall. And that's
that's what I was about to say. I'm thinking like a receiver. I'm like... But one of Tay was like, you know what, man, I'd rather go over there and deal with Aaron Rodgers than sit here with this.
That's why Devontae wanted out.
Think about that, though. Gardner Minshew, Aiden O'Connell, and Desmond Ridder as your quarterback room, and I'm supposed to win with this? Oh, no.
That's
tough to compete with right there.
You don't have the power to go and leverage and do what he wanted to do, which was move up in the draft. I'm with Paul. I don't think the quarterback of the future is playing right now. No. I think they are going to be in a position to draft someone next year.
Yeah.
And the purpose of Pete being there is to establish some stability, which they desperately need. Over to the Cowboys. Their quarterback is there, and they hired offensive coordinator Brian Schottenheimer to be their new head coach. And now they need to fill their OC position. Stephen Jones talks about the key factors that will go into hiring a new offensive coordinator. The Cowboys have the 27th ranked rushing offense this season and the 29th ranked rushing defense this season. So Steven is not telling lies when he says that that's what they need to do, but do the Cowboys need the OC to fix the run game?
So, yeah, because he's going to be calling the plays, whoever the OC is. I'm just confused. I thought Schottenheimer was going to be the guy calling the plays as the offensive coordinator, but now it sounds like, and listening to Steven, it sounds like he's just going to be the head coach and then go hire an offensive coordinator. Because many offensive coordinators are typically quarterback friendly. Like they either played the quarterback position at some point in time, so they don't really understand the running game. They just don't. And they can try to convince you and fool you and make you think they understand the running game. But the running game is about the running back coach and the offensive line coaches. Those are the ones that put the running game together for the coordinator. Now, if Shoddy's not going to be calling the plays, then they're going to probably bring in, and I would think that they would bring in a run game coordinator if Shoddy's going to call the passing plays and not the full thing, similar to what Washington has done with Anthony Lynn and Cliff Kingsbury.
Right.
Cliff Kingsbury don't know anything about running the damn ball. I'm sorry. He just doesn't. He knows about the air raid and passing the ball. But then when you got somebody like Anthony Lynn, who was a running back, understands the running culture, what it's like, been in San Francisco, been in Denver as a player, he understands it. You got a strong running game to go with a strong Jaden Daniels and passing game. So maybe they're going to do some sort of combination like that. But they hired a dude that ain't going to call. Okay, so
He'll call plays. That's what his job
okay,
was
so
before.
if he gonna call plays, then bring in somebody that understands and knows the running game. If that's the case.
This is what's going to fix their run game. Healthy Dak Prescott. I like Dowdo, what he did the second half of the season. I mean, yeah, they weren't one of the top rushing teams, but if you got Dak out there who's a running quarterback who can scramble at times, he can set up the run game better than what they had last year. So I don't think it has nothing to do with the coach and all that. They got the personnel in place to do it. I saw it. I saw it when they went on a little run towards the end of the season. They showed us some signs of life of a run game. Now, all these things I'm hearing from the Cowboys is excuses. They need this, they need all the damn time. All the damn time. Everything y'all need is in that locker room right there because y'all won 12 games the year before. Dak got hurt this year. You got the pieces. You got Micah in there, CeeDee Lamb, Daldo, who's a formidable running back. Come on. It's just so many moving parts with the Cowboys every single week. What are we going to talk about next week with them?
I mean, God only knows, Paul, and I can tell you, they're going to come up with something.
Well, that's something, right? Are they going to need a receiver
He
coach?
said the OC that's coming in. That's what he said. He didn't say run game coordinator. He didn't say Shoddy needs to figure out
he said the offensive coordinator.
That's why I'm like, I don't really know.
I don't know what they're talking about.
What they're talking
I don't know
about.
what they're talking about either.
But I do know is he's right. They need to fix the run game, and they need to be able to stop the run.
Yeah.
And I would maybe argue that stopping the run is more of a
they
priority.
scored.
Right.
Because teams just go there and run up and down the field on them, and they have for years now. So this is a problem. They allowed the most rushing touchdowns this season, along with having the 29th ranked rushing defense. And they were ranked 30th in yards per carry at 4.84. So if you want to run the ball and win that way, you can certainly have your day against the Dallas Cowboys, and that's something that they need to fix. They're going to also probably draft a running back.
Yeah, they had their longest run from the line of scrimmage was 27 yards. That ain't the last in the league. They 6 touchdowns. Saquon Barkley got that in one game.
Yeah.
I mean, like it's just
6 rushing touchdowns.
Yeah, 6 rushing touchdowns. 6.
Daldo had 2 of them.
So think about that though.
Yeah.
All they did was score 6 times.
They didn't lean into the run game enough though. You got a 1,000-yard rusher. You got a 1,000-yard rusher. They didn't lean into it enough, I don't think.
Yeah, but a 1,000-yard rusher in these days in 17 games, that's
nothing.
You're not really feeling it like that. If you told me they had a 1,700-yard rusher or something like that, and you'd be like,
well, to
okay.
fix the run game, you got to fix the line.
Well, it'd be
How about
nice
that?
to block somebody,
Exactly.
too.
You got to fix the line if you want to get a run game because you got somebody who can
It'd be nice to block the dude instead of running right past him.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's what I saw from them.
Yeah. They have a lot of things they need to fix.
A lot of fixing to do.
Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak, and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.